Hi, everybody. This is Lee, and I just wanted to make sure everyone in Georgia, in the 6th district, which is Tom Price's former district, the Health and Human Services Secretary, that there is a special election in that district, and the special election is going to be this Tuesday, April 18th. And so it's another opportunity to make corrections in our political system, the balance in the Congress, that we do not do so well under one party rule as a so-called democracy or a republic, if we're being very specific, that many more points of view need to be represented at the federal level. And so this is an opportunity to make corrections in the lead up to the 2018 elections. And so there was a special election in Kansas already, which became more competitive than people realized. The reason being that these districts in which there are elections being held, the Democratic candidate is actually gaining more vote share in that district than Hillary Clinton managed to accumulate in those districts during the 2016 election, that more people are voting Democratic in the special elections for 2017 than voted in those districts for Hillary Clinton in 2016. So they are more competitive and people are paying attention, which is always good. And so let's see, there was the top two selection process in California, which is safely progressive or liberal or Democratic, and there are two Democrats advancing to the top two, and that the special election in Kansas was pretty competitive, but the Republican candidate was able to pull out a win. In that race, I was hoping people would vote for the Libertarian instead of the Republican. But it looks like rather than vote for the Libertarian, more Republicans voted for the Democrat in the state of Kansas. And so now in Georgia's 6th Congressional District, people are saying that this race is very competitive. Even though it's been safely Republican for many years, it's actually Newt Gingrich's old congressional district. So that's your indication of which way to the right the leaning is. And then Tom Price, who was recently confirmed into the Trump administration, held that seat. And so now we see that there's a big selection of candidates in that race, and that there's not going to be a primary to decide who's going to be the Republican or the Democratic candidate, that they're all going to compete against each other, and then the top two vote getters will advance to June 20th. And so people are anticipating that it's the Democrat in this race. His name is Jon Ossoff. He's the managing director and CEO of Insights TW, I think that's I. So he's a businessman, and they anticipate that Ossoff will pull off a slight edge, that he will make the top two, along with the Republican, whoever that might be. There's I'm trying to count. I believe that there's 11 Republicans who have declared their candidacy, and then 5 Democrats, including Jon Ossoff, and then 2 independents. There is not a Libertarian or a Green in this race. And so, the third parties have a hard time of it in Georgia, and that might explain the reason why. But there's ballot access, court filings back and forth to try to ease those requirements and in the anticipation of 2018. But for right now, it looks like Republican, Democrat, Independent. And so I'm going to post a link to this article at Ballotpedia, and I might copy one paragraph into the description so people can see what's going on in that race. Again, I anticipate Ossoff, who has raised about $8 million for his campaign, which is pretty sizable amount of money. I guess he really wants that seat, and he might get it. And so it depends on the voters. April 18th is when they vote, and good luck to all the candidates.